Which companies are so powerful that they basically have moats around their business? We made a list of 8 stocks for companies that have wide moats, and in this video, we'll walk you through each one, and we'll also explain how this list came together. But first, what is an economic moat? Well, it's a concept that was popularized by the investing legend Warren Buffett. As an investor, generally, you want to buy businesses that are dependable, that you can rely on. And just as traditional moats protected castles from enemies in medieval times, economic moats protect companies from competitors, allowing them to maintain pricing power and profit margins. Now, there's no one recipe for a list of wide moat stocks, and this list certainly doesn't represent all of them, but we did use a formula. So let me walk you through that. We started by working off a list of stocks that have already been identified as having a wide moat. For example, the research firm Morningstar has a popular list with a few dozen names, so we used that. Then, we wanted to stick with companies that don't just have a big brand, but have the biggest brands in the world, because having a well-established brand can really give a business a leg up. So we only circled stocks of companies that made the top 100 global brands list, a very popular one from the research firm Cantor. Then the companies had to have market share of 20% or more in at least one of their main businesses, and we wanted to see evidence of that pricing power through profit margins. So the companies had to have gross margins of at least 20% for 5 years or more. And finally, we wanted to stick with stocks that are currently recommended by a majority of the analysts on Wall Street who cover them. Okay, ready for that list of 8 stocks of companies with wide moats? Before we get to it, friendly reminder, this is not investing advice. And as a disclosure, I've owned some of these stocks at different points over the years, but I'm not currently trading them. This list was purely based on companies that could meet that high bar that we set. All right, in alphabetical order, here's that list of stocks. Our first stock is Adobe, which has a business model that is tough for customers to break away from and can scale quickly. But the company gets bonus points for also having a solid return on equity ratio over the last 5 years, and generally it's a well-liked stock amongst the analysts. Our next stock is Alphabet. Now, we know about the company's dominance in search, but remember earlier I mentioned that list of the top 100 global brands? Alphabet makes it not once, but twice, not just the Google brand, but also the YouTube brand. Plus, it scores well on return on equity and its free cash flow yield. And the stock is recommended by more than 3/4 of the analysts who cover it. Our third stock is Amazon, which of course is a powerhouse in e-commerce, but also in cloud services and increasingly advertising. And you might recall we did an earlier video, if you haven't seen it, check it out, where you could make the argument that this is the most loved stock on Wall Street just based on the number of analysts who have been recommending it. Stock number 4 is Disney. Now, the media industry is going through tremendous change, but even with that disruption, Disney's size and scale and entertainment and theme parks gives it the kind of advantage you're looking for with a moat business, plus its free cash flow yield stands out. Next up, Microsoft. Now, getting back to that subject of brand recognition, this is a company that has 3 brands on that list of the Global 100 we referenced earlier from Cantor, not just Microsoft, but also LinkedIn and Xbox. Like Amazon, it is a very well-liked stock amongst the analysts on Wall Street, plus its return on equity is nothing to sneeze at either. Another stock on our list is Nike. Now, as you probably know, Nike's been doing some soul searching, retooling with a new CEO after some missteps, but it is still the owner of one of the world's best-known brands, and even though the analysts on Wall Street are not overwhelmingly bullish on the company, a majority of those analysts still recommend the stock. Our second last stock is Salesforce. This company wrapped up the year with a very strong quarter of performance thanks to its efforts in AI, and the stock gets a thumbs up from basically 3/4 of the analysts who cover it. And last but not least on our alphabetical list is UPS. Now, it'd be a bit of a stretch to say Wall Street is in love with this stock, but a majority of the analysts who cover it like it. In terms of the brand value, It's one of the 35 most valuable brands in the world, according to that list we referenced earlier. And along with meeting all those other metrics we outlined for this exclusive list of stocks, the company also scores well on return on equity. Okay, that is our list of 8 stocks for businesses with wide moats. Are there any wide moat stocks that you like? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss our next investing video. See you next time.